Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines. It may be Saturday, but we got a heck of a show lined up for you. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Very quickly, it's linked to, ladies and gentlemen, the best home for private investing in the world. Get private equity right here from the top companies in the industry, in all industries that are breaking loose right now. Listen, Circle, I don't even know if it's still available, but if it is, you better get some. I got some yesterday because I know you guys will beat me to the punch. Well, yesterday I got mine. I hope you got yours. And listen, Ripple, Uphold, you name it. Some of the most incredible companies in the world. They've got the best AI companies. They got robotics companies, you name it. They got microchip companies. It is so remarkable, all the selection that they have on there. Is no surprise that there's over 400 million in total investments and over 766,000 registered users. It's so easy to qualify, sign up and register and get yourself verified. Don't waste time. This is a remarkable opportunity for every accredited investor out there. Click the link below for my sponsor. Google has granted XRP Ledger startup XRP Market a grant worth approximately $200,000, stirring speculation on X. Well, listen here. What I can say is that this is remarkable, and shout out to XRP or XP Market for getting that grant from Google. And this is another reminder too that, it's like there's a lot of people out here acting very poorly on social media. There's codes of conduct with all of these grant programs apparently, and you got to make sure that you're not participating in a lot of discriminating or bad behavior, cyberbullying, harassing, things of that nature if you're looking for free money. And obviously XP Market is a great example and exemplary behavior being acknowledged not only for that, the code of conduct, but the great idea that they obviously have. So super excited. I sent a message to them. I am going to follow up with them. I'm really looking forward to XRP Las Vegas 2025. We have some things in the works already. Look, we're going to be doing some kind of Shark Tank style VC pitch for developers and builders. We're going to get you some money, some resources for funding, and I'm super excited to help bridge that gap. It has been such a gap, and so far, no one's been able to close it for builders and developers. Well, I tell you right now, when I put my mind to it and I put my word to it, I'm telling you, we're going to do something to create more resources and funding for you at XRP Las Vegas 2025, and I can't wait to bring it to you, no doubt about it. Again, congrats to XP Market. Oklahoma bill passed bill on May 13th to protect the rights of its residents to self-custody their digital assets. I have to give a very big shout out and thank you to Alan Staple, who was on yesterday as our special guest for Week in Review. We're going to start doing that here on the show, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And we had a great time with Alan yesterday. He's super bright in his space. If you haven't followed him yet, please go subscribe and follow him. He has amazing insights in this space, and he told us yesterday about this because I didn't know about it. But Oklahoma has passed a bill, and it is to protect the rights of residents to self-custody their digital assets. And I think he said it best. It's like, wow, we got an island right here in the good old USA, right? Now we just need to see the rest of the country do what Oklahoma did, right? Great stuff. And Alan was great yesterday. Kraken may delist USD Tether to comply with the EU crypto regulations. Uh-oh. The exchange is currently preparing for MiCA compliance, ladies and gentlemen. This is the question we've been asking. Now you add in again. Look, we don't know what's going to happen, but there's something brewing. I think we all know that. The U.S. government has made it clear that they're targeting Tether, and we know also that Kraken here is delisting now. We also know that Circle just announced last week we're moving our legal base back to the United States. Well, if my math is correct, then that means that the only stablecoin issuer of U.S. dollars operating outside of the United States happens to be USD Tether. And if this is any signal of what Kraken's doing to fall in compliance with EU regulations, what is going to happen to Tether? I ask you. This right here is the one and only Honorable Chris Giancarlo right here. So great to see him on Fox, and he drops it like it's hot, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot happening in the United States in the way of crypto legislation moving in Congress right now. And you're going to hear from Chris on the matter. And remember, we just had a massive win with the repeal of the SAB 121, which was a rule written by the SEC to help hinder the banks from being able to custody digital assets. Absolutely tried to gut the idea that banks could participate in custodying digital assets. Old sneaky Gensler tried to put that rule through without any approval or permission from Congress. Oh, it's a problem. And you know Elizabeth Warren came right out and tried to defend him. That's why we got to vote her ass out too, Massachusetts. She's pushing all of this for special interest in big banks. She's bought and paid for. It's time for her to go. Let's listen to Chris right here.
Former President Donald Trump sparking excitement in the crypto world last week after announcing that he would embrace the use of cryptocurrency if he is elected in November. Crypto participants took to X to share their optimism that Trump could help propel the industry forward. But my next guest says Trump already laid the groundwork for crypto to go mainstream, and he did that during his first year in office. Bitcoin right now, 67,000. It is up sharply today. Joining us now in another Fox Business exclusive is Chris Giancarlo, who served as chairman of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission during the Trump presidency. He's also the author of the book, Crypto Dad. Thanks for joining us.
Wonderful to be with you, Lauren. Thank you.
So it seems like you think President Trump is better for cryptocurrency than President Biden. I guess the question is, why is President Biden so bad for crypto?
Well, you know, presidents get credit for when things go right during their administration, and they get criticized when things go badly. Fact of the matter is, during the very first year of the Trump administration, the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission green-lighted the world's first regulated market for any type of crypto derivatives. This was Bitcoin futures, and the United States' first regulated market for any type of crypto. 6 years later, that marketplace is deep, it's liquid, it's transparent, and it's very well regulated and relatively free of fraud and manipulation. In fact, of all Sam Bankman-Fried's empire, the one piece that didn't fail was the piece under CFTC regulation. So what the CFTC did under that first year of the Trump administration demonstrated that American regulators, in fact, regulators anywhere in the world, can engage successfully with crypto, can put regulatory regimes in place about crypto, and can do it successfully. And so I think that as a president under whose watch this occurred, credit is due.
And what has happened now?
Well, in the last really 24 months, we've seen a real, I'd say, almost regression in sort of the left wing of the Democrat Party. It's not across the board. There's a lot of very strong Democrats in favor of smart crypto regulation.
That's right.
But, you know, Elizabeth Warren and others have declared war on crypto. They say they're going to assemble an anti-crypto army. And I think that's frozen innovation in place here in the United States because of the regulatory uncertainty. And what we're seeing is a lot of smart innovators that want to do the right thing, are moving offshore and innovating in other places rather than here in the United States.
Where is offshore specifically?
Well, what's interesting,
or primarily?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, in the Far East, in Japan, in Singapore, in the Middle East, even in Europe. I travel a lot in my work. I have very good relations with the former regulators abroad that I used to work with, and all of them tell me that they see this as an opportunity to get the jump on the United States.
Is one reason that this administration is more anti-crypto is because it's so energy? It requires so much energy to mine for Bitcoin, for instance?
You know, I've heard that said, but it never seems to be the core of their resistance. Look, up until recently, the resistance used to be somewhat generational. I think a younger generation that grew up in a networked world intuitively understand the notion of networking finance and networking systems of value. But an older generation across the board that grew up in a more traditional world of paper checks and branch banking have really struggled to accept this innovation. Why this left wing of the Democrat Party have been so resistant, I don't really know. But I'll tell you what, I think that is breaking down. In the last few days, just in the last 24 hours, a major vote took place in Congress. And a number of Democrats broke ranks and voted for the repeal of something called Staff Accounting Bulletin 121, which was put out by the SEC, which was really very harsh and restrictive on banks getting engaged with crypto.
They couldn't be custodians.
They couldn't be custodians under that rule.
Okay.
And that rule was done without going through what we call the Administrative Procedures Act, notice and comment, inviting public comments. So both on a procedural grounds and on substantive grounds, it was really restrictive to American innovation. And I'm very pleased to see that we've got bipartisan majorities in both houses resisting that innovation. I think that's now going to be a step forward in breaking this deadlock that's been in place so that America can resume its rightful role and hopefully a nonpartisan, non-political role as a leader of this innovation.
That's right.
Thank you so much for coming on. That was because I know next week the full House will vote on the first regulatory framework bill for cryptocurrency.
So
is that correct?
Fit for the 21st century bill.
It's hard to keep track of all this stuff.
It really is. A major one, and stay tuned. That's going to be a big story.
Christian.
Stay tuned. That's going to be a big story. Well, you know what? I'm super optimistic, just as Chris is, and Chris was amazing. And I mean, just a true gentleman, this guy, class act. Chris, it was so great to be able to have the opportunity to sit down with you at XRP Las Vegas and to have the opportunity to talk to Congressman Wiley Nickel as well at the DC Blockchain Summit in Mixer. What a great opportunity that was. We will definitely be talking with him going forward in the future. This guy totally gets it. And I want you to listen now what he says about Fit 21 Century Act. Take a listen here.
For good examples of bipartisan cooperation, our work in the House Financial Services Committee on digital assets is just that. This bill, the Fit for the 21st Century Act, the first ever, regulatory structure for digital assets, is coming to the floor for a vote next week. I was part of a group of 6 Democrats who worked with my Republican colleagues in committee to move this bill. Similar group of Democrats in the Ag Committee as well. So we're going to get a vote next week. I'm very excited because we are operating on a 100-year-old securities law for this industry, and we need to get regulations in place. We need to protect consumers, and that's what this bill does.
And there you have it right there. So watch out. I tell you, I just got to have the last few seconds of this. It just tears me up.
So that America can resume its rightful role and hopefully.
By the way, that's what this is about. This is about America being a leader in this next wave of innovation. The Internet of Value.
A nonpartisan, non-political role as a leader of this innovation.
That's right. And I just want to add, too, again, and in order for us to be a leader in that role, not only do we have to be on the front end of this innovation and technology, but we have to protect the dominance of the U.S. dollar. You don't want to wake up and have our dollar be dead on the floor. It almost is now.
Thank you so much for coming on. That was because I know next week the full House will vote on the first regulatory framework bill for cryptocurrency. Is that correct?
Fit for the 21st century bill.
It's hard to keep track of all this stuff.
It really is. A major one, and stay tuned. That's going to be a big story.
Christian.
Oh, boy. I tell you, I'm super excited about that, especially when we know that the MiCA stablecoin regulations go into effect for the EU the end of June 2024, which is just a month away here. Oh, man. Will be interesting to see how other exchanges in the EU will treat Tether. That's why Kraken is actively reviewing plans that may include removing support for Tether. I tell you, we're talking about it, and we know Ripple's going to launch a stablecoin. The BRICS economic bloc is set to continue its expansion effort, but listen this time. And a plethora of European countries now are seeking to join the collective in 2024. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? Moreover, the potential for that engagement to extend to the BRICS expansion efforts is likely, considering the mutual interest. Xi's visit concluded with a signed strategic partnership between France, Serbia, and Hungary. Among European nations, France has been the most outspoken in its international allegiance to BRICS nations. Subsequently, French President Emmanuel Macron here continued his advocacy for the increased relations with China. Now all eyes are on what European nations are putting together in the bid to join Saudi Arabia, which we've reported here, United Arab Emirates, and other BRICS countries. Which means we're going to have something like this in order for it all to work together. This guy describes XRP and never says it.
No, I would agree because we haven't yet made the jump where there is institutional buy-in. And I like to use the example, if the Bank of Mitsubishi in Tokyo needs to transfer $100 million worth of yen to the New York branch and convert it to dollars, you need $100 million worth of yen in Tokyo and $100 million worth of dollars in New York. You're tying up $200 million in capital. If you can attach that to a coin, it's simultaneously so the bank frees up half the capital. That's a big deal. But we haven't made that jump yet.
Yeah, but it looks like it's coming, doesn't it?
I think so. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and what he just described was XRP making that happen, right? And you know, I don't know. I tell you, you know, listen, let's take a look at this. Look, it's all going to come down to getting this clarity. We need legislation, whether it's stablecoin bill or a complete bill for crypto altogether, like the Fit 21st Century Act of the 21st Century. Look, just get it. We need to get it done, right? And we get it done. And look, we may be close to good news because the charts are showing the potential for that to play out. Now, if that plays out, look, we're all happy, right? I mean, you know, the reality is, as much as this crypto winter and this down market has beat me up, and I know it's beat a lot of people up out here. I know that because I've been the target to it. But I could tell you, what I do know is that when I step back, I would never be in the position I'm in now if it wasn't for a crypto winter. I can't wait for things to turn around, and I don't know when they're going to turn around. And all of you that follow me and listen to me know I am never going to pump sunshine up your ass. I don't know when this happens, but we know what we need to happen, and they're talking about getting it done right now, and that is something to note. Now, whether we see $1.50 or a $7.50, I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer. But I do know this, I'm here for it, and I'm here for it to enjoy it with you together, and I can't wait for it to happen. And until it happens, I am going to ask myself every day, all you can do is everything you can do. And have you done everything you can do to move the ball forward for this entire space? That's the question to ask myself every day. And I'm going to keep doing it. And that shows up in ways where I start interacting with people inside the DC Beltway. That shows up in ways where you start a conference out of thin air, and who knows what else. You know, bringing Shark Tank style events to the conference so we can help raise resources and funding for developers and builders. That's what's coming. This is how you do it. You show through your works where your heart is, where your vision is, and what you really believe about this space. That's where you show up and what you're doing. And all of us have something we can be doing. Not financial advice of me or anyone else. That's going to do it for me. I'll catch all of you on the next one. By the way, we're going into the Freedom Zone, and you're going to want to hear this. Oh my, oh my. I'm going in there right now. Listen, you can support the channel, digitalperspectives.com. Click the Freedom Zone for next to nothing, and come on in. All right, welcome back, everybody.